It was the week before Halloween, and a group of friends was planning their big night. Sam, Lily, Max, and Emma were sitting in their usual spot at the local cafe. They were all excited about the upcoming Halloween party at Max's house. But there was one thing they couldn't stop talking about: the pumpkin patch outside town. "I heard there's a really weird pumpkin patch this year," Max said, leaning forward. "People say there's something special about it, like magic or something." "Oh, come on, Max. Magic pumpkins. That's just a Halloween story," Sam laughed. But Lily, who was always curious about mysteries, looked up with interest. "What if it's true? I mean, Halloween is about spooky stuff, right?" Max grinned. "Exactly. I think we should go there tomorrow and check it out. We could find the perfect pumpkin for the party." The group agreed to visit the pumpkin patch the next day after school. Little did they know, this decision would lead them into a mystery that no one would forget. The next afternoon, after school, the four friends set off for the pumpkin patch. It was located just outside the town, surrounded by trees and tall grass. When they arrived, they noticed something strange. The pumpkin patch looked much bigger than it should have. The pumpkins were huge, some as big as cars. They had bright orange skins that seemed to glow in the afternoon sun. But there was something else that felt odd: silence. There were no birds, no insects, just an eerie quiet. "This is creepy," Emma whispered, looking around. "I don't know, guys," Sam said, feeling nervous. "It's kind of too quiet here." But Max, always the brave one, walked ahead. "You guys are just scared. There's nothing to worry about. Let's find the best pumpkin." As they walked deeper into the patch, they came across a strange pumpkin, sitting alone in the middle of the patch. It was dark green with a black swirl on its surface. It didn't look like the others. It felt different. "This one looks cool," Max said, pointing to the pumpkin. "Let's take it." Lily was hesitant. "I don't know. It looks kind of weird." But Max was already kneeling down and picking it up. As soon as he touched it, the ground shook and the sky seemed to grow darker. A cold wind blew through the patch. "What was that?" Emma asked, eyes wide with fear. Before anyone could answer, a voice echoed through the air. "You should have left it alone." The friends looked around, but no one was there. The pumpkin in Max's hand seemed to glow brighter. And then, suddenly, it cracked open. Inside the pumpkin, there was a small glowing stone. It pulsed with a strange energy, and the friends stared at it in awe. That's definitely not normal," Sam said. Lily reached out, her fingers brushing the stone. But as soon as she touched it, the voice returned. "Beware the curse of the pumpkin. Once touched, it cannot be undone." The friends quickly put the glowing stone back into the pumpkin, but the damage had been done. As they walked back to Max's house, they felt the strange weight of something following them. When they reached Max's house, nothing seemed right. "I feel strange," Emma said, looking around nervously. The group entered the house, and Max placed the pumpkin with the glowing stone on the kitchen table. But as soon as the pumpkin touched the table, the lights flickered and the door slammed shut on its own. "Okay, this is getting weird," Lily said. "I don't like this. Maybe we should just leave the pumpkin in the patch." "I'll go back and put it back where it came from," Max said, standing up. But before he could move, the pumpkin began to glow again. The voice spoke once more. "Leave it, and you will face the consequences." Suddenly, the lights went out completely. The friends stood in the dark, their hearts racing. The air grew cold, and they heard strange noises coming from the other rooms in the house. "We need to get out of here," Sam whispered, grabbing Lily's hand. But as they moved toward the door, the ground began to shake again. A low rumble filled the air. The walls seemed to close in, and the shadows in the corners of the room grew larger. "We're stuck!" Max shouted, his voice full of fear. "What do we do?" The pumpkin on the table began to crack open again, this time even more violently. A shadow rose from within it, swirling around the room like a dark storm. "This is the curse!" Lily screamed. "The pumpkin's curse!" The shadow moved toward them, but the friends didn't want to give up. They had to find a way to break the curse. "Maybe we can return the pumpkin," Sam said. "We didn't mean to take it. We just wanted to look for a Halloween pumpkin." Lily nodded. "That's it. We have to take the pumpkin back to the patch before midnight. That's the only way to break the curse." Without wasting another second, the friends grabbed the pumpkin and rushed out the door. The storm of shadows seemed to follow them, but they didn't stop. They ran back to the pumpkin patch, their legs aching and their hearts pounding. When they finally reached the patch, they placed the pumpkin back in the spot where they had found it. The moment the pumpkin touched the ground, the curse seemed to disappear. The shadows lifted, the sky cleared, and the air grew warm again. The voice spoke one last time, this time softer. "You are lucky. The curse is lifted. But beware, the pumpkin will always remember." The friends returned to Max's house, exhausted but relieved. They had broken the curse, but they knew they would never forget their adventure in the pumpkin patch. "I can't believe we got caught up in that," Max said, laughing nervously. "Who knew pumpkins could be so dangerous?" "I'll stick to regular pumpkins from now on," Emma said, still shaken. Lily smiled. "At least we learned something. Sometimes it's better not to mess with things we don't understand." Sam agreed. "And Halloween will always be a little scarier after tonight." As the friends walked back home, they couldn't help but wonder what other mysteries the world might hold, things they had yet to discover. But for now, they were just happy to be safe, knowing that the curse of the pumpkin would never bother them again.